we to stand around deliberating all day, or shall we play?
No.
To field of combat.
So it looks like Bridgerton fans have even more reason to celebrate because Netflix just went ahead and renewed the show for not 1, but 2 more seasons, meaning seasons 5 and 6 are officially on the way. The announcement came straight from Netflix's big upfront presentation, and although they didn't spill all the juicy details yet, it's pretty clear what direction the story will take. Judging by how things ended in Season 3 and how the books are laid out, it seems like we'll finally be diving into Francesca's journey, played by Hannah Dodd, and then probably Eloise's, brought to life by Claudia Jessie, who's been around since the very first season, patiently waiting for her own grand romance. And keeping up with the show's fun tradition, the renewal news actually came via a cheeky little note from Lady Whistledown herself, which Netflix shared like one of her famous scandal sheets. It's honestly such a perfect way to keep fans engaged, because it fits right into the playful world they've built. Now, in addition to this exciting renewal, Netflix also confirmed that Season 4, which will revolve around Benedict, the artsy second son, is set to premiere in 2026. That lines up pretty well with the show's usual every other year release pattern. Fans kind of already suspected as much when they noticed Bridgerton was nowhere to be found on Netflix's lineup of 2025 releases, so it's nice to get the official word. They've even started dropping some sneak peeks. After releasing a bunch of behind-the-scenes photos and teasers from Season 4, Netflix just put out a clip showing the moment Benedict meets Sophie Beck, played by Yaron Ha, at a masquerade ball thrown by his mother. It's the kind of dazzling fairy tale scene that's bound to make viewers swoon because it's basically a Cinderella moment, masks, mystery, and all. It's kind of wild to think how Bridgerton has grown. Back when it launched in December 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, it quickly became a global obsession. People were stuck at home, craving escapism, and suddenly there was this lush romantic series with fancy gowns, forbidden kisses, and scandalous secrets. It was exactly what everyone needed. Since then, it's become one of Netflix's biggest hits, even spawning events, merchandise, and of course, the Queen Charlotte spin-off, which fans devoured too. Seasons 1 and 3 are still holding spots in Netflix's all-time most-watched English-language series list, which is pretty impressive. Of course, a lot of that success comes down to the powerhouse team behind it. Jess Brownell is running the show these days, taking over from creator Chris Van Dusen, but Shonda Rhimes is still there steering the ship as an executive producer, along with Betsy Beers, Tom Verica, and Van Dusen himself. It's basically a dream team of people who know exactly how to keep audiences hooked. They recently shared that the new season will have 8 episodes. Benedict, who's always been this carefree spirit refusing to settle down like his brothers, will finally have his world turned upside down when he meets this enchanting woman at the ball. It's the sort of storyline that feels perfectly Bridgerton, romantic, dramatic, and full of complicated emotions. And speaking of Benedict, Luke Thompson seems genuinely thrilled to be stepping into the spotlight. He said he's had long chats with Brownell about what's ahead and couldn't be more excited. It helps that he's surrounded by such a supportive crew. According to Thompson, working with this team for over 5 years now has been a dream because they're not just talented, they're also some of the nicest people around. What's even more intriguing is something Jonathan Bailey recently let slip. In an interview, he talked about feeling a huge sense of brotherly pride for the show and accidentally revealed that he filmed a wedding on a Monday morning. He quickly tried to play it down by pointing out that Bridgerton has lots of weddings, so it wasn't necessarily a spoiler, but come on, fans immediately started speculating. The funny thing is, in Benedict's original book, An Offer from a Gentleman, he and Sophie don't actually get married on the page. There's a heartfelt moment where Benedict basically tells her, "In my heart, you're my wife," and Sophie admits she's loved him since their first dance. By the time we see them again in Colin and Penelope's story, they're already married. So if there is a wedding in Season 4, it might be an added scene for the show, maybe tucked into an epilogue, kind of like how they showed Colin and Penelope's baby at the very end of Season 3. Of course, it could also be someone else's wedding. Francesca already married John Sterling last season, but the show didn't focus heavily on it. Or maybe Violet's budding romance with Lord Marcus Anderson will suddenly speed up. Honestly, a lot of fans, myself included, would rather see Violet's story told in a separate Queen Charlotte-style miniseries, exploring her past with Edmund Bridgerton and her possible future with Marcus. But who knows, maybe they'll surprise us. There's also this funny little irony. If Benedict and Sophie do have a big, beautiful on-screen wedding, it might actually highlight something missing from Anthony's story. Remember, Season 2 spent tons of time on his almost wedding to Edwina, but we never actually got to see him marry Kate. Sure, we caught up with them as happy newlyweds in the finale, but imagine how stunning it would have been to see an elaborate ceremony that combined Bridgerton flair with Indian traditions. It's kind of a missed opportunity. So, if we do get Benedict's wedding, it'll be a treat, but also a bittersweet reminder of what we didn't see. Alongside the familiar faces, there are some intriguing new arrivals shaking things up this season. Lady Araminta Gunn, played by Katie Lung, is this twice-widowed woman desperately trying to get at least one of her two daughters married off. She's glamorous, sharp, and not exactly the easiest person to please. Her eldest daughter, Rosamund, is beautiful and pretty much her mother's pride and joy. She's got her sights set on Benedict this season and seems determined to land him. Then there's Posey, her younger sister, who's much sweeter but has this habit of nervously blurting out awkward things. Watching how this family stirs the pot in Mayfair society should be pretty entertaining. And it's not just about new characters. We'll also see more of people we've already come to love, like Alice Mondrick and Brimsley, who will both be part of the main cast this time around. It's nice that the show doesn't just abandon side stories, but keeps weaving them into the bigger picture. Production-wise, the show's getting even more spectacular. Bridgerton has actually expanded its sets on a massive backlot at Shepperton Studios outside London. They've built this incredible 2-acre spread full of Georgian and Regency buildings, complete with lavish Mayfair streets. The production design team, Alison Gartshore, Anthony Cartledge, and Adam David Grant, really went all out to make sure the Tons world feels even more immersive. It's also where they took those gorgeous new promo shots of Thompson and Haw. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.